Hello, welcome everyone. My name is Marisa Vela, and I'm a staff specialist for the City of San Jose's Rent Stabilization Program. In today's webinar, I'm going to be giving you a live training on what you will need to do to register your apartments for the second registration period in the Rent Registry. For the duration of this webinar, everyone will be placed on mute, and if you have questions, please submit them to the question and answer box below. If you are joining us by phone, you can email your questions to rentregistry@sanjoseca.gov. So to begin, I want to start with what the purpose of the Rent Registry is. The Rent Registry allows the city's rent stabilization program to collect data on rent-stabilized apartments, monitor changes in tenancies and in rents, and track allowable rent increases. This information will enhance the city staff ability to monitor compliance with the apartment rent ordinance. Property owners must log into their accounts and register their apartments during the selected time period by the city. The current registration period began on October 1st, 2020, and the deadline will be November 30th, 2020. Property owners will have 60 days to log back into their accounts and provide updates on tenancies, including new move-ins, vacancies, rent increases, or can list no changes. To log into your account, you must first go to sjrentregistry.force.com. Owners will need to log into their accounts with the existing username that they have created and password. If you have forgotten your password, please refer to our user guide located under the Customer Support tab on our Rent Registry website. If you do not have an account, you will need to create one using your city-issued credentials. These credentials can be mailed upon request. Due to COVID-19, unfortunately, City Hall is still closed, so we will not be able to assist with this year's registration in person. Here is a list of some resources available to help you register. On our Rent Registry website, under the Customer Support tab, we have a user guide, registration form, video tutorials, and a Contact Us feature. The user guide, paper registration form, and video tutorials are available in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. The paper registration form can also be mailed upon request. I will now be logging into the Rent Registry website and giving the live demo. I'm going to show how to enter a rent increase, how to enter a new tenant when the previous tenant has moved out, how to enter a vacant or owner-occupied unit, how to list a no change when all the previously entered information is still the same, and I will show how to use our new feature, Edit Last Entry. You will first need to go to sjrentregistry.force.com, select Owner Login, log into your account, select Go to Registry, then select Owner Portal. Then you will need to select your property. For this demo, I'm going to be showing how to use the direct entry feature. And then you will see your list of apartments. The first one I'm going to show is rent increase. You want to select Make a Change for the unit. Select Rent Increase. Enter the new monthly rent, the effective date of rent, And then you will notice that rental voucher, services, bedrooms, and parking has stayed the same. If any of this has changed, please make the change. And once you are done, press save. Your information has now been updated successfully. Click back to main page. And next, I'm going to show how to enter a new tenant when the previous tenant has moved out. You'll want to select Make a Change, New Tenant. You will need to list the vacancy reason for the last tenant. These are the list of Tenant Protection Ordinance just causes, so you'll need to select one. Select the move-out date for last tenant, the move-in date for the current tenant, the current monthly rent, the effective date of that rent. Enter the tenant's first and last name. You only need to list one tenant. Security deposit amount. If the tenant has a rental assistant voucher. And then the services, parking, and bedrooms will be auto-populated from what was entered with the previous tenant. If any of these has changed, go ahead and change them. After you review everything, make sure it's correct and press save. And your new tenant information has been updated successfully. Select back to main page. And for unit number 3, we're going to enter a vacant unit. You select Make a Change, select Vacant, the vacancy reason for last tenant, and then the move-out date for the last tenant. Your information now has been updated successfully for vacant. Select back to main page. For unit number 4, we're going to enter an owner-occupied unit. You must select Make a Change, select Owner-occupied, the vacancy reason for last tenant, the move-out date for last tenant, and then the owner's move-in date. Select Save. And this has now been updated for an owner-occupied unit. Go back to main page. And for unit number 5, we're going to make it a no change. Select Make a Change. And then if all the information for this unit is still the same since the last time information was entered, you can select No Change. Review all the previously entered information and make sure nothing has changed. Then press Submit. And your information has now been updated for no change. Next, select back to main page. And lastly, I'm going to show how the new feature, Edit Last Entry. You select Make a Change, Edit Last Entry, and you can make an edit to the last entry that was made. So for example, I entered one too many zeros for this rent. The rent is not $22,000. So I'm going to be able to correct that. Now that once it's correct, I review that I don't have any more edits to make. I press Update. And you will see here that the current rent has now been changed successfully. We have upcoming webinars this week, also in Spanish and Vietnamese. On Wednesday, October 7th, we'll have our Spanish webinar. And Friday, October 9th, we'll have it in Vietnamese. Both of them will be held at 2 p.m. This now concludes this webinar and we'll be able to take questions. If you have any further questions, please email us at rentregistry@sanjoseca.gov or call us at 408-975-4480. This webinar will also be posted on our website after. Monica is going to be calling out the questions. So if you have any questions, please type them in our question and answer box. Monica, what is the first question?
Thanks, Marissa. The first question is, where can I find my city credentials?
Sure, so credentials can be mailed upon request. You can either email us at rentregistry@sanjoseca.gov or give us a call at 408-975-4480, and we can mail you your credentials.
Do non-rent stabilized units need to do this?
No, the rent registry is only for properties that are under rent control and fall under the apartment rent ordinance.
Okay, is this voluntary?
No, this is not voluntary. Under the city's ordinance, property owners must register their properties during the time period selected by the city.
And what if the landlord or the tenant does not want their information put on the website? Is there any repercussion or anything that limits a landlord from being able to rent or increase rents later on?
Sure, so if the unit or apartments are not registered by the deadline date of November 30th, property owners will not be able to issue any rent increases. And this may result in an administrative citation. Property owners do need to complete the registration by the deadline date.
Perfect. And this landlord says they have some units that are occupied by Section 8 holders. Do they need to register those units also?
Yes, even tenants who are Section 8 holders, the units still need to be registered. In the demo, I did show that there was a question that listed or asked if the tenant had a rental assistant voucher. For those, you will either need to select yes if they do, and of course, no if they do not.
Thank you. Is there a way to register any units without having to do it online? Is there a paper form available?
Yes, we do have a paper form available on our website. It is located under the customer support tab under registration form. It's available in English, Spanish, and Vietnamese. And if you also want to give us a call, we can also mail you the paper form.
Is there a way for owners to do a bulk update for multiple units?
Yes, there is a way for owners to do a bulk update if you have multiple units. In the screen, it will ask you to do direct entry or Excel template. You can then go to the Excel template, download the template, and then select all the unit information, and then be able to upload that template into the website. If you have further questions on how to use the Excel template, please give our office a call.
Okay, let's see, this question says, even though there is no change since I had already registered more than a year ago, should I still update the registry with no change?
Yes, you would still need to update the registry with no change. The ordinance states that owners must go in during the selected time period and give an update on tenancy information. So if there is no change, you will just have to select the no change feature.
How do you ensure, or how does the city ensure that the information entered is accurate?
So the landlords have to enter the information into the system, and then when they enter in the paper registration form, they do sign it that it states that it is accurate and true.
Thank you. Will the PowerPoint be able to be printed out after this webinar?
Sure. Why don't you just give us a call or email us at rentregistry@sanjoseca.gov, and then we can share this presentation with you.
All right, Marissa, it looks like we have a few more questions coming in. Let me just go through and see if there are any that we have not already answered. This person wants to see if you could just show where they can access the Excel template from.
Sure, let me go back. Okay, I'm going to log out just for the example, and then I'll log back in to show you from the beginning. So you want to go to the website, select owner login on the top right-hand side. Let me just log back in really quick. Okay, once you are logged in, select go to registry, then select owner portal. You will need to select the property from the drop-down list. Then on this page, you'll see direct entry, which is what I showed in today's live demo. And then this one on the side is Excel template, and I'll just click it just to show you. So here you'll need to generate the template first. You save it, upload the information. Then once everything is completed, you'll come back to this screen and select the upload the template. You'll upload it into the system, and that's how you can register your apartments if you have quite a few of them.
Thanks, Marissa. How do we determine if our property management company has already started the registry for our property?
Sure, so you can either log into your account if you already have an account created, or you can also just give us a call and we can verify that information with you if any units have been registered or not.
Thank you. What is the deadline date again?
The deadline will be November 30th, 2020.
Is this a requirement from the City of San Jose to do the rent registry?
Yes, this is a requirement of the City of San Jose for all apartments that are under rent control with the City of San Jose.
Okay, and it looks like we have one more question, which is, we just took over the management of a new ARO apartment complex. What if we can't find the rent registry login from the previous property management company?
So if you don't have that information, and if you're the new property management company, you'll probably need to create a new account. So you'll need the credentials sent. We can send the credentials to the owner, and once the owner has them, they can go ahead and share that information with you, and you'll be able to create an account.
Got it. Okay, we have a few more questions that have come in. This person wants to know how they can correct errors in the history they created.
So if it's not the previous entry, so there is the edit last entry feature, which will just allow you to do the most recent entry that was made to make edits to. If there's mistakes still or needs corrections in the history farther than just down one, go ahead and give us a call or email us, and then we can assist you with those.
Thank you. Are there any charges associated with this registry, or can they register without paying a fee?
There is no fee to register to log into the website or to create your account. You'll just need the credentials and then log in and input the information that, that is required. Yeah, there is no fee.
Okay. This question is not specific to the rent registry, but I know it is one that we can answer. Is San Jose rent controlled properties exempt from the COVID-19 rent increase freeze?
So the rent increase moratorium is subject to all properties in San Jose that are under rent control. And that is properties that were built before September 7th, 1979 are subject under rent control.
Thank you, Marissa. That is all the questions that I see.
I do see some people are raising your hands since you're on mute. Can you please just enter your questions in the question and answer box, and in case I do want to be able to answer your questions, and unfortunately you're on mute, so you will not be able to ask them.
Okay, it looks like we have,
Okay.
yeah, okay, here's one. How do we change the point of contact or mailing address for the property?
So unfortunately, you cannot change the address unless it is the owner address that is listed with the county. We receive all our information from the county, and therefore all of our correspondence gets sent to that same address. So if you wanted to change it, you would need to call the county assessor's office to get your address changed with them first.
Thank you. Let's give it one more second, see if we have any more. Just another person wanting to know if there will be, if this will be recorded and provided on our website.
Yes, this will be provided on our website, the sjrentregistry.forest.com. This will record and will be posted on there once we get it uploaded.
Thank you. Marissa, this person wants to know what happens if they update the rent registry now and then in November they have a new residence.
Yeah, so you can go ahead and update it right now to make sure you meet the requirement. And then if you have anything new in November, you can also go back into the system and provide that information.
Okay. If they want to, if this, let's see, if I want to do a rent increase on a unit, do I first need to register in the rent registry, or can they make the increase and then update the rent registry?
Sure, so the increase counts as an update. So if you have that same tenant that you wish that you are now entering a rent increase for, you'll just select the make a change on that tenant and then just increase the rent, and that would count as you registering.
Okay. This one's a little, this question's a little vague, so we may have to, they may need to reach out to us directly, but they say, is this the same thing as submitting the required City of San Jose rent roll?
No, I'm sorry, I guess the question is confusing me, but you're referring to the rent roll. So maybe give us a call for clarification.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, do we need to update every time there's a move in or move out, or just by the November 30th deadline?
Sure, so the requirement is that property owners go in during the selected time period by the city and provide an update. So in this case, it's the October 1st through November 30th. It is recommended that you go in throughout the year and provide us any updates, but currently the only requirement is that you go in during the selected time period.
Okay, and this person wants to know, what date range do we need to account for with this rent registry submittal?
Sorry, I'm a little bit confused with the question. The
Yeah,
date range for submittal?
Yeah, what dates do they need to cover when they do register during this period? Should it be for current tenancy?
Oh, got it. Yes. Thank you, Monica. Yes, it would be for the current tenant information. So when you go into sign into your account, or you create an account and go to register, for the information that is current and up to date as today, or tomorrow.
Okay. There are a few questions that came through that are a little vague or a little unclear to me, so I'm just responding to those. To please email our rent registry email address, if you don't mind giving that out again, Marissa.
Yeah, so you can definitely email us all of these questions and we'll be happy to answer. The email is rentregistry@sanjoseca.gov. You can also call at 408-975-4480.
Okay, well, I don't see any more questions.
Great, thank you everyone for joining today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.